Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I am Darian and today I'm going to be talking about how to love yourself and how to be confident. I do truly believe that you can get to a place where you deep down learn to love yourself. Now I know you have probably heard fake it till you make it. Over here, I don't believe in that. I am not trying to give you any advice to tell you to fake your self-confidence or fake how you feel about yourself, but I do want to mention some things that I believe can help you to learn to love yourself and help you to build confidence when they are properly implemented. A lot of times people can pick up when you are faking self-love and self-worth and that you're secure in yourself, because your actions will actually show what you truly feel about yourself. Learning to love myself and be confident have been life-changing for me in such a good way, and it has brought me so much peace. So let's go ahead and jump into it and get to these points. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, I feel like is very straightforward, and that is to deal with whatever makes you feel insecure. So this can be looked at from so many different ways. A lot of times when I hear people say that they're insecure, it's usually about something physically, like maybe their weight, maybe they don't like the way their hair looks, they don't like the way they dress. Those type of things can be changed. Those are things that you can try new things. You can switch up your hair. You can put on a wig. You can put on a new outfit. You can even start to work out, move your body more. Try to eat healthier things and see how things change in your body. And then there are some things that we have picked up because we have gone through certain traumas, or people have treated us a certain way, or whatever the case may be. Like, one thing could be rejection. Maybe you feel like you've always been rejected, or you haven't always been received well, even if you feel like you're the nicest person, or you're just doing everything to the best of your advantage. What I have found is that may actually be something that is working in your favor, because when you have gone through certain things like that, or people have treated you wrong, or it could be relationships that you've been in that they have not been good for you or treated you bad, a lot of times people can see the bigger picture of yourself than you can. They can see your value. They can see who you're going to be. They can see the potential in you. They may want to be in a relationship with you to break you down. Or it could be someone that you have around as a friend, and they can see where you're going. They can see your determination. They can see your dedication. They can see that you're going to go to high places, and they cannot deal with that. They cannot take that. So in turn, you may internalize it as rejection. But I have truly found that a lot of times that rejection truly is protection. And a lot of times people are projecting onto you based off of what they feel about themselves. So if you have gone through situations where you have felt insecure because of the way people have treated you, maybe take a sit down and really go through the different interactions you've had with people. What is a common theme and occurrence that is happening in your life? How is it making you feel? Because that insecurity and that lack of self-love could actually just be there because of something as simple as how people have received you, but those very people are insecure. Those very people have their own problems and they're projecting it onto you. And so now you're in this place. Spend some time with yourself and really go deeper. Like, how are you as a friend? How do you show up to the world? How are you showing up towards your family and other people in your life? Write down the good qualities that you believe that you have, and even write down some things that you feel like you could change about yourself. And I feel like once you actually sit with yourself and look at the good things about you, you can start to focus on those things and let those be at the forefront of your mind, while also working on those things that may not be as positive. When you start to focus more on the better things about yourself, you may find that you are feeling better about yourself, because you're not sitting there focusing on all the negative things people have told you that you were, and all the things that you've done wrong and all this and that. A lot of times insecurity can come from how we are perceived by our outside environment, whether it's true or untrue. Some of the most beautiful people inside and out have become so insecure because of the way people have treated them. And it could be as simple as people just treated you bad because they're jealous. So don't always internalize the things that have been said to you and done to you, but really just spend that time with yourself and find out what is an insecurity or what are some things that you're insecure about and how can you change those things. Especially the quicker fixes, like maybe just buying a wig. Focus on what you can fix now, and as you can fix the other things, just start to work on those other things. Okay, so let's move into the next thing, and that is you have to learn to say no. No. No, it's okay for you to say to other people. I used to struggle with saying no, and I found myself in a lot of situations that I wish I never signed up to be a part of, or that I wish I didn't have to carry out because I was afraid to say no. I was afraid to say I didn't want to go. I was afraid to say that, maybe I don't want to actually be a part of that. And I ended up suffering in the end because my time was wasted, or I ended up spending resources that I could have saved and used on something else, or just simply my mood was changed because I just didn't say no when I could have easily just said no. Now, I get it that when you start saying no, people are not always going to respond the best to you saying no. Most people are going to go where they can get benefits from for free or for low cost. So when you start to say no, that may actually shake a few people. That may actually make people kind of like, no, when you are a person that's very given, when you are a person that has a big heart or a pure heart, or when you are a person who may actually be doing things out of things like rejection or maybe abandonment, or maybe you feel like people will love you more if you keep saying yes. What I have found in life is that it doesn't make the people love you more. It just makes them happier because they can continue to mooch off of you. They can continue to leech off of you. When I learned to say no, my life changed for the better. I did have some pushback from people, and yes, people did get mad. Yes, people got to see that they weren't going to be able to drain my energy supply. But when I learned to say no and stick up for myself, I started to have more peace. I started to actually have more confidence because once you learn to say no, and you realize it's okay, you're gonna be okay after saying no, it makes it so much easier for that second time to say no. It makes it so much easier for that third and fourth time to say no. The first couple of times may be hard for you to say no. The first couple of times may actually make you uncomfortable if you're not used to telling people no. Now, I'm not saying say no to everything, but when it comes to things that truly make you feel inconvenient, and when it comes to things that truly make you feel like you're being used and worn out and there is no benefit for you, it's okay to say no. If you feel like you're in a relationship or a friendship that is not benefiting you, that is draining you, that is taking everything from you, that you can't even get what you need to get done because you're so invested in something that is not serving you, you will have to learn how to say no. Simply saying no is a demonstration of self-love because you're not saying yes just to make somebody else feel better when you truly want to say no. And that is going to actually lead me into the next thing, and that is you are going to have to learn to have boundaries. And no is a verbal form of having boundaries. Most people are going to push the boundaries of your life as long as you let them. Most people are going to see how far they can go with getting benefits from you as long as you let them. So boundaries are going to have to be a major part of your life. This is something that I've said before. And that is when you don't have boundaries in your life, I can already just go ahead and assume that your life is probably all over the place and you may have problems in different areas of your life, because a life with no boundaries is a life without peace. When you learn to have boundaries in your life, and you have people in your life that may have narcissistic traits, it is going to cause them to be shocked. I was once able to take from a person and utilize all their resources and take from their energy supply, and now they're saying no. Now they're holding me accountable. Now they have boundaries, and I can't do that anymore or as much anymore, because boundaries and learning to have boundaries, it's a process. It was a process for me, and more than likely it's going to be a process for you, unless you just straight up just be like, no, now from now on. But it usually is a walking out process of learning boundaries. And once you take away that supply of whatever it may be, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's a coworker or a work situation, could be your boss, whatever it is. Once you take away that supply that they need, once you stop catering to their every want and desires, and they're no longer able to run over you and use you, that is going to ruffle some feathers more than likely. Most people are not just going to be like, okay, you have boundaries now, all right, I'm just gonna jump on board. Most people are probably gonna try to fight you. Not literally, but I mean, there are some people who may actually go there. So be wise with how you deal with those type of relationships. Be wise with how you interact with some people. Some people it's not worth trying to explain to them. Or if you know that you're dealing with somebody that is probably not gonna be understanding of this new place that you're trying to be in, you may have to just delete them out your life and move on. If you have been going through that bad to where you feel like this person being out of your life is fine, that is probably a clear sign that that person should have never been in your life, or that person has worn out their welcome in your life. Okay, so boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. I stand by boundaries. When I learned to have boundaries for my life, I started to clearly see, okay, I love myself. I care about myself. I don't have to tolerate this behavior. And then simultaneously, my confidence was starting to increase, because now I'm able to speak up for myself, and I'm able to say that this no longer can happen this way. Okay, you guys, let's move on to the next thing. So there is such thing as a false form of confidence, and usually that shows up as pride. Like, have you ever seen a person who is acting like they're confident and saying that they're confident, but truly you can see the insecurity all over them? That usually is probably coming from a place of pride. So you want to truly be confident. You want people to look at you and be like, who is that? Look how she walked in this room. And everybody making stank faces at her or him, if you're a guy watching this. And they just continue to walk in the room, sat in their seats, and minded their business. So that is true confidence. When you truly are self-secure in yourself, that it doesn't matter that two people just rolled their eyes at you because you know you that girl or that guy. You continue to walk in and let them people be them people, okay? And you be you. That is true confidence. That type of confidence is what just radiates off of you. That type of confidence, people just know, oh, I can't mess with this person. So moving on to the next thing that has helped me to become truly, genuinely, authentically, and radiate confidence in my life is my relationship with God. The more time I spent with God in prayer and talking to God and learning his voice and him changing me on the inside out, he broke me out of so much insecurities. He broke me out of people pleasing and idolizing people, feeling like I have to do this for people to like me, or I have to act like this for people to like me. Breaking me out of a mindset where I thought that I needed friends to have fun or live my life, or I needed a person to be with me in order to enjoy my life. When I was broken out of that, I started to see that these people that I had put on a pedestal really were not as big as I had made them in my life. These people who had all these opinions and things to say, their opinions and things to say did not even matter to me, to the point to where I could be out and about and hear someone say something smart mouth because they want me to hear what they have to say so they can try to make me feel insecure or whatever. And it's just like, whatever. Just ignore it. Like, it doesn't even have any effect on you. That is true confidence. And I learned that from spending time with God. It's been times when He's told me not to worry about what a certain person may have said or have had to say. Or there's been times where I haven't felt the best, because we don't always 100% always feel the best in our lives. And God has spoken goodness to me and reminded me how beautiful I truly am and how beautiful my spirit is and all those things. When you have a genuine relationship with your Creator, He created you, and He does not want you in your lower self. He does not want you in this place where you're down and feeling negative about yourself. But a lot of times, the things that we're being fed each and every day in the media, in the culture, and people who just people who are not working on themselves, who are not happy themselves, a lot of times it's a lot of things being thrown at you. And if you don't stay centered, and if you don't continue to stay connected spiritually in that way, you can find yourself that you're struggling with how you see yourself. You can find yourself that you're struggling with your identity as far as who you are. You can find yourself questioning your worth and your value just as you, not because you had to do something or change something about yourself. So that is the most important thing that has changed my life, to make me learn to love myself and be confident in who I am. Okay, you guys, so let's move on to the next point, and that is, you may have to clear out your circle of friends. You may have to start hanging around other people and get rid of those people that you may have become accustomed to hanging around and having in your life, and even call friends. Even other relationships, it could be family too. I say this quite a bit. The people around you, I believe, can make or break you. So if you're surrounded by people that are constantly downing you, constantly making jokes about you that are just supposed to be jokes, but they're always negative about you and tearing you down, people who can only give you backhanded compliments, or people who can only compliment you when it serves them, or they can't compliment you at all. And not to say that you should constantly be seeking validation from the people around you. That actually is a sign of insecurity, because we should already be secure in ourselves. So if you need everybody to constantly validate who you are, then that is a sign that that area needs to be worked on. But you can tell when somebody has negative energy towards you. And when somebody is a friend and good things are happening in your life, you should expect them to be able to speak positively about you and over your life. So if somebody is constantly talking about your looks in a not good way, or your features, or how you walk, how you talk, whatever it may be, if it's always a constant jab at you or constant negativity, you may have to reconsider. Well, I personally have gotten to a place where when I start to see those signs and it's become a consistent thing, it's usually time for me to cut those relationships off. But you may have to voice your opinion and say what you need to say regarding that person, but not everybody will respond positively when you do address certain behaviors. So you have to be able to discern, is this person meant to be in my life still? Or is this somebody who may just be in a bad season, which does not make it okay to tear you down, but maybe they may not be aware of their behavior, that it has started to go to a downward spiral. So in that case, you're going to have to decide if it's worth holding on to certain people, or if it's worth just letting them go. I have found when I've been in my seasons where I have been alone and had time to work on myself, and I'm not saying be alone all your life, but there were seasons where I went through and I had to be alone, away from all those people that I thought were friends, away from all the voices, and I had to sit with myself and find out who I was. And if you have negative voices all around you, that is not going to help you to learn to love yourself and be confident in yourself. The truth is, a lot of people don't actually love themselves, and a lot of people aren't actually confident. So it's kind of hard to expect somebody that may not be in that place, or who has not done the work to get to that place, to project positive things or project good things onto you if they themselves don't currently feel that way about themselves. So there are some times where you may have to walk alone to grow in self-love and confidence. Are you comfortable going to dinner by yourself and seeing how you feel? Even if you don't feel comfortable going to dinner, can you go get lunch by yourself and sit with yourself, read a book, meet new people, talk to other people? Of course, use wisdom. You know what you feel comfortable with, and you know what you feel would make you feel that you are being safe. But are you comfortable going to a park and, spending time with yourself, just being in your own presence and having fun? In those seasons where I wasn't surrounded by people, or I went through seasons of isolation, whether it was because of betrayals or just me elevating and growing and moving forward in my life, I got to find new levels of myself. It's like new things were unlocked in me that weren't unlocked before, or I wasn't able to see before. But if I would have continued staying around those same people, I wouldn't have been able to get to that place at the time that I was able to get to that place. And I wouldn't have been able to step forward in the new blessings and environment and new season that God had for me, because those same people could have been used as a device to keep me from going to that next level. Okay, guys, let's move into the next thing. And this is so important to me now that I'm in this place, because I used to be at a place in life where I did not feel that I needed to dress up a certain way, or that I was worthy of dressing up and doing all these extravagant things. Sometimes you may grow up in environments, or you just may be surrounded by other people who weren't taught that they're beautiful. They weren't taught that they're worthy of getting dressed and walking confidently and being themselves. They could have been shunned all their lives. They could have been spoken negatively, like how I spoke about earlier. They were never affirmed in the right way, or they suffered a lot because of the projections of other people, and now they see themselves a certain way. So as they have grown up, they haven't seen themselves as beautiful, not because they aren't beautiful, but because they have been told that they weren't for so long, that it has become a stronghold in their mind for them to think that they are not. And so this next point is take care of yourself. Take care of your hair, how your hair looks, how you present yourself to the world, how you dress. It matters. People judge based off of outside appearances. And I'm not saying get dressed and do what you want to do to your body for other people. But what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to show up as your best self. Don't be afraid to dress up in the way that makes you feel your most confident and your most beautiful. In my younger years, I used to dress down sometimes. I used to try to hide my light because I didn't want anybody to feel that, I was trying to outshine them or make anyone uncomfortable. And then once I learned to love myself and to become confident and comfortable with who I was, I started to venture out more and actually believe that I'm worthy of taking care of myself. I actually believe that I'm worthy of going to get a massage and get a facial and get my makeup done and all these different things. If you feel like you can't afford certain things, then look for ways that you can do it in a more affordable way. But don't feel like you have to neglect yourself because of the experiences that you have faced in the past. Even if you feel like you're at an older age where you feel like why now start to be confident and care about those things and love yourself? Because I have found that when I have gotten up and taken care of myself and gotten dressed how I want to get dressed and, did my makeup how I wanted my makeup to look, it did boost my mood. It did help my confidence to be even more. Think about it. Let's say you're walking in a room full of people and maybe you didn't dress your best, or you didn't put on what you feel like you probably would have put on if you knew how many people or what type of people would be in this room. Maybe there are people that are higher ups. It could even be like your boss or somebody like that. If you feel like you're underdressed and downdressed, it may make you feel actually insecure. It may make you feel like, oh, maybe I should have put on something else or something different. It may actually make you present yourself in a way that you may not be happy presenting yourself. Maybe you'll shrink back down or not be walking as confidently because you are not dressed and presenting yourself in the way that you would have hoped that you would have done or wanted to do for whatever reason it could have been. And the last thing I want to talk about is, yes, we should love others, but not at the expense of our own selves. Not at the expense of your own self. If you have nothing left to give because you've given it all away to the wrong people or to everybody who said they needed help when it wasn't even your assignment, you may find yourself in resentment towards other people. But what I have learned is you have to take accountability for allowing people to drain you and for allowing people to come in your life and take from you. At some point, you have to say enough is enough. I'm not going to continue to extend myself to the wrong people. And at some point, you will have to look inside yourself and figure out why you are doing these behaviors if you want all of this to stop, if you want to be at a place of peace and not feel like you are constantly drained. And a lot of times, if you don't have boundaries and know how to speak up for yourself and love yourself, you'll find that you are taking on what was never meant for you to take on. Back to the thing where I said people will continue to come where they're benefiting as long as you allow it. So yes, you can love others. Yes, you can help others. Yes, it is good to help others. But in helping others, it is good to use discernment and know, do I have time to give to this person today? Do I have time to, give of these resources? If someone is calling you for hours every week and dumping all their stuff on you, and they're not able to effectively hear you and listen to your concerns or your things that you have going on in your life, you have to really dissect what is going on. You may have grown up in an environment where you have been taught that you have to give, work to no expense, that you're just constantly pouring out and you're not worthy to receive back. And I am here to say that you are worthy to receive what you need also, just as you give to others what they are needing in that moment. And I'm here to say that you are worthy enough to say, no, this is draining me. This is taking too much from me. You're not obligated to take any kind of treatment from any and everybody just because you can. I used to feel guilty about giving, and if I wasn't given enough, and am I being mean because I had boundaries and started to say no. But I came across a scripture that talks about how you are supposed to love others as you love yourself, and that clicked for me. Yes, I love others, but I have to love myself first. I have to take care of myself first. I have to make sure that I'm okay first, because if I do not, then once these people are taken care of, or once these people take from me, what am I left with? Who's going to come back now and save you? And if you're somebody who is given and maybe you have a big heart, a lot of times you probably aren't surrounding yourself around others that are givers and are freely helping you out. So be mindful of those people around you. Surround yourself around people who are willing to give to you. Surround yourself around people who love themselves and are confident in who they are. If you are surrounded by somebody who is constantly down talking them own selves and constantly just speaking negatively about other people also, not even just themselves, but other people also, and then you find that it's coming to you also, you have to decide if that is the type of energy that you want to keep around you, because that can make it harder to walk in self-love and self-confidence from a genuine place. One thing I have found is that people can sense insecurity. So if you are in that place where you just want to learn to love yourself and be confident, I hope that you find yourself in that place that you are wanting and hoping for your own self. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that these things help you along your journey. Be sure to check out any other videos that interest you, and have a great day. Bye.